Hello and welcome. 5 p.m. and plenty to talk about today. And the subjects are really interesting. It all started last night, right? I mean, with Shehbaz Sharif saying that politics and sport should not mix. Politics and sport should not mix, and that is why they have decided not to play the India game. The Pakistan Prime Minister citing that the whole politics and sport should not mix and saying that that's why, in solidarity with Bangladesh, Pakistan will not play the India game on the 15th of February. Salman Agha continuing this saga, which was started by the Pakistani premier last night, in the press conference today says the brothers of Bangladesh, he has solidarity for his brothers of Bangladesh. They feel really bad, and for the brothers of Bangladesh, etc., etc. And the fact that Pakistan is playing the World Cup, Bangladesh is not. Salman Agha is feeling genuinely bad for his brethren in Bangladesh. I don't know how many of you are students of history and how many of you know about the diplomatic relations between Pakistan and Bangladesh. After the formation of partition of India, 1947, firstly till 1955, East Bengal, and then 1955 to 1971, East Pakistan. As a student of history, this has been one subject of interest of mine. 1971, obviously, everybody knows that the liberation war, I mean, the war of Bangladesh, Mukti Juddho, it was the Indian army that liberated Bangladesh. From 1971 to 2024, except a couple of years here there when Imran Khan invited Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh made that policy, malice towards none, friendship with all. Except the years between 1971 and 2024, that entire stretch of 53 years, the relations between Bangladesh and Pakistan was unstable. The geopolitical reality of South Asia was fundamentally different. Only after the ouster of Sheikh Hasina, only after the ouster of Sheikh Hasina did the diplomatic relations change. And the Muhammad Yunus government, and we know that, the Muhammad Yunus government and the current Pakistani establishment became very close. So much so that Mohsin Naqvi, and that explains the policy, and you must understand where Shehbaz Sharif is coming from. Mohsin Naqvi visited Bangladesh in July of 2025, and a number of areas of diplomatic cooperation was worked on. It is very significant that Shehbaz Sharif, the Pakistan Prime Minister, says what he says 6 days before the Bangladesh elections. The Bangladesh elections are due on the 12th of February. The Pakistan premier says sports and politics should not mix on the 5th of February. 4th. The statement itself, sports and politics should not mix, and that's why we are in solidarity with Bangladesh, coming 7 days before the Bangladesh elections, is a acutely political statement and a statement of hypocrisy coming from the Pakistan premier. On the one hand, sports and politics should not mix. On the other, solidarity with Bangladesh 7 days before the election. In sport, it's all about timing. You guys decide. Sport is nothing but timing. And all of a sudden, the Pakistan premier, 7 days before the Bangladesh elections, saying that in solidarity with Bangladesh, if this is not a political statement, then we don't know what a political statement is. He says sports and politics should not mix, and in the very breath, he mixes sports and politics and he takes an acutely political stand. I don't have a problem with that. I have forever argued, I have, I have forever argued that sports and politics go hand in hand. I have absolutely no problems in saying that sports and politics go hand in hand. What I have problems with is this hypocritical nonsense that is coming from Shehbaz Sharif. Accept it that you are doing to instigate geopolitical instability across the border. No problem. But to say that sports and politics do not mix and hence we are taking a stand in favor of Bangladesh 7 days before the Bangladesh election smacks of hypocrisy, for God's sake, Premier Prime Minister. Everybody can see through the actions. Let's pause for a while on Shehbaz Sharif and come to Salman Agha. Salman Agha, everybody realized it was a scripted political statement being read out. Brethren of Bangladesh. Does Salman Agha even know about the history between Pakistan and Bangladesh? No, he doesn't. As I said, between 1971 and 2024, you guys just need to go and check your history. Salman Agha's love for Bangladeshi brethren and the players of Bangladesh and everybody else, unbelievable. There has to be a limit to this hypocrisy. And now there's some straight questions for Salman Agha. Salman Agha is really unhappy that Bangladesh is not playing the World Cup and he says solidarity. Pakistan Premier says in the same breath, we will not play with India in solidarity with Bangladesh. You don't want to play India in this T20 World Cup. Totally fine. I am absolutely okay with Pakistan not wanting to play India on the 15th in Colombo. 3 straight questions here. Why did you play against India in the under-19? What was the reason for Pakistan to play against India in the under-19 World Cup in Zimbabwe and lose again? By the way, that's another common feature, that in most World Cups, Pakistan tend to lose or will lose. That's a different matter. And in fact, there is a comment by Wasim Akram which has gone viral, where he's actually talking about to his audience saying, in the last 2 years, hum to ek hi baar jeete hain. You guys have the liberty of switching off the television, but he as a commentator does not have the liberty to not commentate. He's talking about it, and in fact, Wasim is a very good friend. He's sort of saying it in a light-hearted banter, but that's the truth. Now, the fact is, if you don't want to play India, don't play India. It's absolutely fine. But the stand has to be consistent. The stand has to be absolutely fairly consistent. You are playing India in the under-19 World Cup. You are playing India in the Emerging Stars Rising Stars tournament in Thailand for women. You are not playing India selectively in the men's T20 World Cup. Why? Because this match will fetch Shehbaz Sharif some headlines. This match will give Pakistan the eyeballs and the global visibility that Pakistan is craving for. This match will give Pakistan the credence to make a point against India and push the anti-India stand and make solidarity with Bangladesh and woo the radical fundamentalist sections ahead of the elections. This one match has economic value that the women's game has nothing. The under-19 game has nothing. The only match that has value, the economic value, is this match, by which the money can hurt the associate member countries and you can kind of push them and make your voice heard. That's why you don't want to play the other one, only this particular match. Selectively not play India in the men's T20 World Cup, but we will play in the under-19, we will play in the women. Mr. Prime Minister, you want to show solidarity. What has changed that you did not want to boycott the India versus Pakistan game in Zimbabwe for the under-19? Your solidarity with Bangladesh did not exist at that point in time, Mr. Prime Minister. Your solidarity does not extend to women's games. Solidarity with Bangladesh, not relevant for women's games. Your women's team is supposed to play India on the 15th, not relevant to Mr. Prime Minister. You continue to play India in other sports, Mr. Prime Minister, in multidiscipline games. Does it not extend to other sports across the border? I mean, all the other sports, hockey, for example, or all the other sports that India, Pakistan play together, volleyball, etc., etc. Solidarity doesn't extend to Bangladesh. Only T20 cricket, which has economic value, isn't it, Mr. Prime Minister? And Salman Agha. What does one even say about Salman Agha? You feel that Salman Agha has nothing to say. And Surya Kumar Yadav has made it very, very clear that for them, the match is on. They have booked their tickets to Colombo. India will travel to Colombo. Whether or not Pakistan takes field or not is not India's concern. They're not bothered. They're least bothered. They'll go there. They'll do their practice. They'll get their points. They'll come back. For a second, let's digress. For a second, let's digress and get to Nasir Hussain. It is important to also deconstruct and decode what Nasir Hussain has said. It is relevant as well. It is relevant as well. Nasir Hussain, by the way, let me be blunt here. Nasir Hussain, by the way, is a respected voice, somebody I have the deepest regard for. He and I have done a lot of very good work. I consider him a sane voice and a much respected voice in world cricket, and I want to put that on record. I will take questions, by the way. Shame on ICC and BCCI. Naqvi Delhi humiliates Indian cricket and board, shamelessly deflecting it by saying, think of global cricket. BCCI is nothing but a slave of broadcasters. You know, there are two categories of people in the world: human beings and lunatics who are idiots. This guy qualifies in that category. Derailed, crazy lunatics with their brain mapping needed desperately, political fringes who have been brainwashed, fundamentalist radical bigots. Naqvi humiliates the BCCI. You lose in cricket, you lose on the ground, you lose in votes. You lost 14-2 in Bangladesh, that issue in the ICC's boardroom. You lose on the field of play. India did not travel to Pakistan for the longest time. You were forced to concede and agree to a hybrid model, and you live in this make believe world where Naqvi wins every day. Brilliant. Brilliant. The script has beautifully been written. Who thrashes Pakistan every time India and Pakistan play? So much so, a Pakistani legend like Wasim Akram is forced to say, "Arey yaar, 2 saal mein to humne ek baar jeeta hai." Naqvi wins every day. Indeed does. Brutus is indeed an honorable man. ऐसे जीतना चाहिए यार, आप लोगों को भी जीतना चाहिए. हर बार आप हमारे साथ खेलते हैं, अंडर 19 में भी हारते हैं, वर्ल्ड कप में सीनियर लेवल पे तो हारते ही है, विमेंस में तो आपको खेलना ही बंद कर देना चाहिए, वहां तो आप हर बार हारेंगे. और आप बोलोगे हम जीतते रहते हैं. जीतो और जीतो. बांग्लादेश वाला मामले में अगर आप ऐसे ही जीतते रहे 14-2 से, आप आईसीसी बोर्ड रूम में भी हार गए यार. जीतो यार, डेफिनेटली जीतो. आपके पास ना है वोट, ना है पैसा, ना है प्लेयर्स, ना है क्वालिटी, ना है कुछ. ऐसे करके फायदा क्या है? But on a serious note, your prime minister has the temerity to say, prime minister has the thing to say that sports and politics do not mix. And then 5 days before or 6 days before the Bangladesh elections, extend solidarity to Bangladesh. किसको सिखा रहे हो यार? Everybody understands in the world the political nature of that statement. Now let's come to Nasir. Nasir makes a very valid point when he says that, would the ICC change or not change had it been India? Point taken. Would the ICC change or not change? My friend Nasir, India would never make this demand 4 weeks before a World Cup. India's stand on not going to Pakistan has been consistent for the last decade plus. Your team did not travel to Zimbabwe on moral grounds. You were the captain in 2003. I'm leaving that aside. But India's stand on not going to Pakistan for any tournament has been consistent for the last 15 plus years. So it is not as if India is telling the ICC or the ACC 4 weeks before a tournament that, you know what, we will not travel to this particular country. Pakistan signed the hybrid model. It is not as if the hybrid model was signed without Pakistan's consent. India decided to go to Dubai. Pakistan decided to go to Sri Lanka. It was done and decided. Anshu Mishra and Najam Sethi interview is coming. Rohit Juglan has just done it. The interview is being processed. Don't keep coming and telling me what Najam Sethi has said. I know what Najam Sethi has said, and I'm not even bothered about Nikhil. He can go to hell. So let's come back to a more important point about Nasir Hussain. Nasir Hussain makes this point, and a very important point, that would the ICC have agreed, or would the ICC had done the same for India if India wanted a change? The fact is very significant. Had India wanted a change 1 year back, or Bangladesh wanted a change 1 year back, citing security concerns, giving valid proof of security concerns, absolutely it should have been, absolutely it should have been uh, relevant. India at no point in time over the last several years has never ever said, 15 years plus, that there was never a consideration of going to Pakistan. Never. Never. But 1 month before the tournament, Bangladesh at all, not once did they say we will not come to the World Cup before the Mustafizur Rahman issue. Now you might say whatever you want to about the Mustafizur Rahman issue. Absolutely. Was the Bangladesh reaction about moving the matches to Sri Lanka a political trigger after this, yes or no? India never wanted matches to be moved 4 weeks before. Once the itinerary has been put out, logistics has been put out, itinerary has been shared to the world, groups have been made, draws have been made, broadcast plans have been made, everything in the world has been made. India did not. So when Nasser says about whether or not the ICC would have accepted it, he must keep in mind the timing of the issue. The timing of the issue is extremely suspect in this particular case. Bangladesh was retaliating on the Mustafiz issue. They thought that now is the chance to politicize this matter, take the India war to a global level, to the ICC, and try and corner the BCCI. Fight India. India has taken an unjust call. Fight India. Rally against the BCCI if you can. Stop your players from playing the IPL. Stop the Indian team from coming to Bangladesh in a bilateral. Stop all of that. Absolutely point taken. By trying to make it into an international issue, by trying to take to the ICC and make it into a global thing, Bangladesh lost the plot there. And that is what I think Nasir Hussain does not understand. The timing of the matter is absolutely paramount in this case. Nasir, my friend, India would never ask the ICC to move a match 4 weeks ahead of the World Cup. It would not be a trigger of a political reaction that this is happening. Bangladesh was a trigger, and in Pakistan's case, that too does not exist. Pakistan was in any case playing in Sri Lanka. Pakistan signed the hybrid model about playing in Sri Lanka. Pakistan agreed to that whole hybrid model of going to Sri Lanka and playing these games, and that's why that many number of India-Pakistan matches was added to broadcast. You should definitely know because you are a broadcaster yourself. Pakistan is selectively playing India. Under 19, they are playing India. They are playing the women's games. They are not playing this one T20 match against India in the Men's World Cup. Why is not there a consistency in the stand? That's the question that you need to ask yourself, Nasser. India's dominance, all of that is point taken. When has India said to the ICC, we are not going to travel 4 weeks before to a particular country, completely ruining the tournament, inconveniencing the world body or the governance body, and destroying a particular tournament, and also refusing to play a match on a neutral venue, thus ruining the associate member nations and their finances? When has India done that? And then you talk about the fairness of it all, Nasir. The world is not an ideal place, my friend. The world was never an ideal place. The world will never be an ideal place. The world has forever been unfair. Let me give you two examples from your own country. Till 1992, till 1992, England had a veto power alongside Australia in world cricket. Till 1992. The veto power, England and Australia could veto any of the other cricket playing countries. Utterly unfair, utterly disrespectful towards the others. But that was the ground reality, Nasser. Who protested against them? India had to literally fight in an ICC board meeting to get this off. 13 hours and 2 minutes that board meeting lasted in 1992-93 under Jagmohan Dalmia. So when you look into history, you will find the closets are not really looking comfortable. I mean, the cupboards have many, many skeletons that will tumble out. It's not a fair world. It's definitely not a fair world. India's economic might, you are equating with the practice of pushing the ICC. At no point will you be able to demonstrate even one instance where India has pushed the ICC saying 1 month before we will not travel to a particular destination. After the schedule has been announced, after the venues have been fixed, broadcast has been fixed, flights booked, logistics done, fans have made bookings. You can't show. That's where I think you need to really sort of hold back and think and ponder before making comments, because I think you have a voice. I do think your voice matters, and you are one of those respected voices in the global game who personally I admire. I have respect for, and you and I, we know each other. I mean, we both of us know that we have respect for each other. We are, in touch as well. And I've got no qualms in saying you are one of the most respected voices in the global game. But this point that you are making has been wrong, has been a tad unfair, has been a tad, how do I put it, irrational. Finally, the Pakistan point, the Salman Agha point. I hope I've been able to clarify that very categorically. The point here is very simple. Salman Agha is also doing what he is doing. Salman Agha, is doing what he is doing because he too knows that this is an acutely political stand. He too knows that with the Bangladesh election 6 days away, this is a rhetoric that he has to peddle. So to say, and by the way, Surya Kumar Yadav also will do that. The handshake is a political act. Let us not run away from it at all. That is exactly what I am trying to tell you. Sports and politics are close bedfellows, forever has been and will be. There is absolutely no two ways about that. So let us not be hypocritical and say sports and politics do not mix, for they do. We all know they do, and they will. When there is this much amount of money, clout, soft power riding on a particular subject, in this case sport, who says sports and politics will not mix, and why should they not mix? From the time of Jesse Owens making a statement, to Curtis Flood, to Jackie Robinson, to Muhammad Ali, to more recently India Pakistan, sports and politics, Tommy Smith and John Carlos, sports and politics has forever mixed. So there is zero debate on this. So, Mr. Prime Minister, why don't you say that and then go and make your statement that this is the reason we are using sport and soft power diplomacy to woo Bangladesh? No problem. Don't tell us sports and politics does not mix. And that is why we are in solidarity with Bangladesh 1 week before the elections. Let me take questions. Again, hundreds of questions have come, some critical, some abusive. I will try and take as many as possible. नीड आईसीसी एंड बीसीसीआई खा है क्या, वो सो गए हैं, डर गए हैं, जय शाह क्या है, फॉर ऑल ऑफ देम ओनली मनी मैटर्स, ग्रीडी वी हैव बॉयकॉटेड, वी मस्ट हैव, लेकिन पैसे के लिए जय शाह। भाई कितना पैसा मिलता है भाई? ये जो बात आप लोग कह देते हो, आपको कोई जानकारी तो है नहीं। जानकारी ना होने के वजह से आप कुछ भी बोलते हो, आप सोचते हो यार एक बोल देते हैं, कमेंट कर देते हैं, ऐसे नहीं होता है ना। कितना पैसा मिलता है? वो पैसे से कुछ, वो बलून खरीदने का लायक पैसा है इंडिया के लिए, थोड़ा जाके चना और मूढ़ी खा के आ जाएंगे। वो पैसा इंडिया के लिए कोई काम का नहीं है। नीर M91, ये जो पैसा आप बात कर रहे हो ना मेरे भाई, वो एशिया कप में वो पैसा एसोसिएट मेंबर नेशंस के लिए बहुत जरूरी है। उनके लिए ये पैसे से उनका घर चलता है। सो भारत के लिए वो पैसा मायने नहीं लगता है, बट बाकी लोगों के लिए लगता है। इसीलिए आप वो टूर्नामेंट खेलते हो, इसीलिए आप एशिया कप खेलते हो, इसीलिए। अदरवाइज तो आप पूरा साल आईपीएल खेलते रहो, आपको भी पता है आईपीएल से कितना पैसा है। 1 लेग ऑफ आईपीएल इन अप्रैल में, 1 लेग ऑफ आईपीएल इन सितंबर, खत्म बात। आप पहला लेग से 6-7 बिलियन बनाओ, दूसरा लेग से 4-5 बिलियन बनाओ, फ्रेंचाइजेस देखेंगे। हमारे देश में ऑडियंस तो है ही, डायस्पोरा में भी ऑडियंस है, ब्रॉडकास्टर का चांदी चांदी, क्या फर्क पड़ता है ब्रॉडकास्टर को? और ज्यादा आईपीएल हो जाएगा, 2 लेग में आईपीएल, भारत को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। अगर एसोसिएट मेंबर नेशंस के बारे में नहीं सोचा जाए तो ग्लोबल क्रिकेट बर्बाद हो जाएगा। सो भारत पैसा नहीं बना रहा है। शुभेंदु मंडल, व्हाट कुशान सेड इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट, because of the broadcasters' insistence on keeping India and Pakistan with land. Absolute nonsense. Absolute utter nonsense. It is at best a temporary solution. Kushan doesn't understand this then. I would expect better from Kushan because Kushan is a senior journalist, but this is a naive, foolish comment. What about quarterfinals? You are creating a monster. What about quarterfinals? India versus Pakistan Champions Trophy 2017, we played in the finals. Right? India lost. Mohammad Amir spell. India versus Pakistan, we have played in the semi-finals in the past of global events also. Mohali semi-final 2011. After that also, we have played in semi-finals, we have played in quarterfinals, we have played in ICC tournament finals. Until and unless you have a resolution to this, you will play knockout games. So what will you do in knockout matches? You will not play and forfeit. And you will keep that problem hanging, that sword hanging over your head, that, oh, you know what, the guillotine can come down any moment and this world tournament will go haywire because we don't know if the two countries will play with each other, right? So this has zero basis. And global sport is premised on commercialism. Kushan Sarkar does not fund global cricket. The broadcaster also has to make money. Hyper commercialized sport funds the associate member countries. So one needs to understand why this is done. X number of matches over 4 years, broadcast guaranteed, both countries, same group. That's why. And that's the whole premise of hyper commercialized international sport. If one has a problem with hyper commercialized international sport, then world sport does not exist. I have a problem with people who act naive and say they don't understand. They better understand because they're senior people and experienced people. Okay. Neer, don't give me this. What a Jaisha is not in BCCI, running both ICC and BCCI. We did not have this incompetent. Nobody knows. I don't know what you are talking about here. I don't know what this says. They are just stamp paper. This has nothing to do with the BCCI. What is the BCCI's role in this? Pakistan has decided to selectively boycott this particular match. Has the BCCI even said a word? They have the Indian team going. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, just because you have a thing to run makes no sense. No, my friend. Broadcasters country comes second. Arey yaar, this guy is a fool. Chodo isko. As I said earlier, PCB is using cricketers, journos, England lobby as they run envious of BCCI. Saw that with Nasir Hussein, go childish, forget in 2009. Yeah, I mean, I expected better. I mean, I thought it was a bit of an irrational, immature kind of statement, which should have been better. Arun Kumar Saha, assumption or inside info that other boards will hold NOCs back for PSL. That's the back channel that we are hearing. Arun, at this point in time, has it been put down on paper? No, but that's the back channel that is precisely what we are hearing at this point in time. Not a single journal has written a piece categorically dismissing Nasser point by point. I have written a post and I've done a whole show just now. I've written my Twitter post 4 hours back. You can go and check. It's more or less a point by point rebuttal. And I've done a whole show exactly telling you what I feel on this comment, which I think is wrong, immature, irrational, and unfair. I hope you've got the point. Shahzad, whatever I've already told you, is an idiot. So there's no point taking this comment. And he's continuously spamming also. Nirmalo Banerjee, do not want to see India Pakistan circus anymore, as they do not arrive to play a match against India, should throw them out of the World Cup. Let's go to court. The matter will go to court. The broadcaster will take Pakistan to court, and that's inevitable now. To what extent this goes, we have to see. भाई इतना इतना बार स्पैम मत कर यार, मुझे पढ़ना भी आता है, देखना भी आता है, तुम्हारे जैसे दिमाग नहीं है इतना, ऐसे तो नहीं है. Akshat Charchilkar, ICC should throw Pakistan out. It's not that simple. Throw somebody out, get somebody out. This is international diplomacy, and it doesn't happen like that. But there will be sanctions. There will be lawsuits. There will be penalties. There will be back channel talks and use of soft power in a manner which will not be great for Pakistan for sure. But ultimately, world cricket will be the loser in this. Vishwanathan, whatever, what for ICC is waiting. PCB has openly told by Naqvi they will follow government, and why ICC needs formal letter, because all of that what you've heard is in the public domain from Twitter or Shehbaz Sharif speaking to his own federal ministers. ICC is an international governance body of sport. The PCB is a member. Has the PCB told them anything? No, not yet. So there are certain protocols that need to be followed. Arun, I've answered that. Anshu, you can watch that interview. 80% Bangladeshis love Pakistan. Good. If a cricketer critiques any ICC umpire referee, then they're immediately fined or banned. But here a board is holding ICC to ransom. Look, there will be action, is 100% certain. How and what the way for that action is, the ICC has issued a press release. If you read between the lines, it has said that global cricket cannot be held to ransom. So absolutely there has to be an action. If ICC does not take action, then of course the ICC is weak. No debate. If Pakistan gets away by holding the sport to ransom, does not play the match, selective boycott, gets away, of course the ICC will come out as weak. But has the ICC at all said, or have you seen that it will not take? I have not seen anything like that. So we've got to give them the time, because there are certain protocols. This is a complex political matter, not the अपना घर का चाय तो नहीं है कि चलो यार बना के पी लिया. This is international diplomacy. And Pakistan is a member board. They are part of the ICC governor, the member board. So they will have to be treated with, in a proper protocol, with proper, in a proper rational manner. Buriana, the Bangladesh thing, the Bangladeshis hate us. It's not limited to social media. You can see huge anti-India sentiment on the ground. Pakistan tapping into that. Absolutely correct, Amorto, and that is quite evident, isn't it? That is the sentiment that Pakistan is tapping into, and it will continue until the elections on the 12th, and it will largely depend on what happens in the elections, and only then can we be able to figure out which direction this matter is headed. What happened to conclave, Boria, on 5th in Kolkata? There was no conclave on 5th in Kolkata. Digital conclave from the morning. Have you not seen? We've put it out. The T20 war room, Akash, Michael, Bharat, Deep, Irfan, multiple people. The physical conclave is in Kolkata on 14th, 16th, 17th March. It is India's biggest sports conclave that will be in Kolkata, Sapra on 14th, 16th, 17th March. 3 whole days. ভাগ্য করলে এইরকম প্রতিবেশী পাওয়া যায়. Boriaja, do you think PCB might make a U-turn if Bangladesh election results? The Bangladesh election certainly will have an impact on the geopolitics of the region for sure. Najam Sethi has just told Rohit Juglan over the next 48 hours the final result will come. We will be putting out the interview soon. You can take a look at that. Accept that Pak wants to boycott and take moral high ground, move on, focus coverage on how India wins the World Cup. Uh, yeah, we all know, right? What is personal? There's nothing personal in this. This is a political statement. This is a political issue, and it is being treated like a political issue, should be treated like a political issue. There is no moral high ground in this. This is a political act. What is the moral high ground? That we want to show solidarity with Bangladesh 1 week before the World Cup when you've lost a democratic vote. Why did you not pull out of the vote? Under protest, pull out of the vote. You participated in a democratic process. Today, if the BJP participates in a democratic process and loses, or if the Trinamool participates in a democratic process and loses, or anybody for that matter loses a vote, he'll say, no, 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 this is unfair. That's why there is a democracy. You've lost the vote in the ICC. Okay, last few questions because I have to go for a sponsor meet. Why didn't Pakistan boycott under 19 match against India? Syed Nizamuddin, ask that. Why did Pakistan not? Why are they playing the women's game? Gargi, take the super chats one by one. ARC0NF, tired of India losing the narrative war? Why can't the ICC issue a clear, decisive statement showing Pakistan its place? Why can't it make the member boards issue statements professing solidarity? I don't think India has lost the narrative. This has nothing to do with India. India is in firm ground, focusing on the tournament at hand. They will travel to Colombo. The ICC and the member boards on the matter of Bangladesh, decisive vote of 14-2. I hope you got that. Had Pakistan been able to rally, they would have won that vote and Bangladesh would have had its way. So there is no question India has not lost any narrative war. In this matter also, you will see ICC and the other boards coming together, because unlike the Indian board, which will not lose economically, the other boards stand to lose economically big time. Their interests will be hurt. The edifice of the game will be impacted and Pakistan will be made to pay. So wait for that. Give the ICC that time. I don't think the BCCI has lost any narrative war whatsoever. Gargi, the next super chat, please. Whatever Lob Kush Kumar, Pak Jano's claim Ajit Doval went to Riyadh to request MBS to leave that ball outside the off stump. I saw a Pakistani program where it was said that Jai Shah is meeting the broadcasters in Mumbai and running from pillar to post. Jai Shah was meeting Gianni Infantino at the Olympic Committee members in Italy, Milan, along with Sanjog Gupta to plan for cricket at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games. The photographs are all out there in the public domain. That is Pakistani journalists and YouTubers for you. You should take them with not a pinch of salt, but loads of salt. Next super chat, please, Gargi. Same person. Why are we allowing people like Nasir Hussein, Mark Butcher, Najam Sethi set the narrative? Nobody is setting the narrative. The narrative, if there is a narrative, you counter that narrative. If a point of view is being put out, you put out your point of view. Nasir Hussain is a respected voice. And by the way, if you do not allow democratic voices to come forward, we are not Pakistan, that no journalist has the right to speak up. No journalist in Bangladesh has the right to speak up. Everybody is under gag. Everybody is under a veil. We are not like that. If we have to criticize the BCCI, we will. If we have to criticize the ICC, we will. If we have to criticize anyone, we will. Najam Sethi and Nasir Hussain can't come and set any narrative. Like you've just said, I've demolished Nasir Hussain's narrative point by point and would welcome a debate on this matter. So no one can come and set any narratives. It's a rational democratic thing, and that's what we will do. Sir, the way we are acting to these other boards seriously makes us look like bullies. This will affect our Olympic bid. This is a point of view that I have not heard for the first time. The Mustafizur Rahman issue, and I've said this in the past, take BCCI on. You should have taken the issue to the ICC and tried to corner the BCCI on the matter and asked the question if it was fair. You should have absolutely tried to corner the BCCI on that. Why would you want to boycott an ICC World Cup equating the Mustafiz issue? Makes zero sense. You destroyed your own opportunity, your own players' opportunity to play in the World Cup. Olympic bid, if the United States, with what is going on in that country, with so many countries, and you know what's going on, if they can host the FIFA World Cup, this is the geopolitical reality of our world. This world is not a stable world. It is a politically, unstable. It is a volatile world. I understand what you're talking about in terms of the Olympic bid, but that's the geopolitical. There is a war in Russia, Ukraine. There is a war. America. We have seen strikes. Iran. We have seen strikes. But despite that, America and Iran have played international sport. The Olympic bid targeted dialogue will start in 27, bid in 29, 4 years down the line. 4 years back, if somebody said the world would be free of COVID or no COVID, nobody would have believed. So let us wait and see how the geopolitics transpires. First things first, let's wait and see how the Bangladesh election happens. Gargi, any further question, or I have to end the show? If there are no more, I've got to go to a sponsors meeting. This matter has not ended. This matter you will see plenty more action over the next few days. The matter will heat up. There will be, Najam Sethi says, next couple of days. I wonder, Najam Sethi is a Pakistan former chairman. If the Prime Minister has said no gain, what do you mean by next 2 days? What is there to happen? There is nothing, or nothing should happen, because the Prime Minister should be the ultimate authority. And if the Prime Minister's action gets a U-turn done, then I don't know what to say. Then it will be laughable. Having said that, with Pakistan, anything can happen. India to practice from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Wankhede Stadium tomorrow. 2 to 5 p.m. tomorrow at the Wankhede Stadium. Captain's press conference at 1:45 p.m. Shomik Chakraborty, Debashish Sen, Shubhayan Chakraborty in Mumbai for that particular game. We will bring you all of the updates from the captain's press conference and from Mumbai, building to the United States game. We will get you every possible nuance and detail. Also, tomorrow it's the India versus England final in Zimbabwe. Rohit Juglan on ground. We'll get you all of the action from India versus England. Tonight, the WPL final. Absolute huge shout out to Trisha and Snehashish for fantastic work done on the WPL. Prakash Jha, Abhishek Mishra is monitoring very closely the Asian Shooting Championship. Samrat Rana and Suruchi Inder Singh winning that silver in the mixed, should have won gold, won the silver in the mixed to Vietnam. Plenty of sporting action happening. Keep following Rev Sports for more. Thank you very much for joining me.